Hello and welcome back to 18 WJTS in.form. We are here once again with the Jasper RC Flyers, specifically the secretary of the group, Jeremy Church. So welcome.
It's good to be back.
And we kind of have a guest star here as well, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So not to say you're alone here, but you definitely brought a new friend, so we're excited to see it.
I did. I brought a new one.
For sure. And I mean, we'll kind of touch on it since you're relatively new to the in.form program, but if you would go into what Jasper RC Flyers is, what the organization does, just so people get a refresher and kind of see where this conversation is going to lead.
Sure. Well, we are a local club of radio-controlled airplane, aircraft, anything that flies, group of people. We love aviation, and we experience that through radio controls. So we encourage people to fly. We have a field behind the Du Bois Recycling Center, that a landing strip where we can take off and land, and it's quite nice up there.
I heard that your lovely yellow plane got crashed into and went into multiple pieces.
It went into multiple pieces, but a couple weeks worth of work and one or two smaller extra parts and some glue, and it's back together, and flew it last week, and everything's fine, and wasn't too much of an issue.
But that's kind of part of it, is that you guys have these instances. I assume there was laughter and not like total despair and destruction and whatnot, and then you were able to rebuild and see what you can do better.
No, the despair was all done at home.
Okay. Fair enough.
No, it was, a lot of smiles, and all those involved were upset that it happened, but it is part of the hobby. But some glue and some bamboo skewers, and it's back together, flying just like new.
Yes, and I mean, I love that you brought this particular plane today, because it shows that, again, this is all handmade, and just with a little bit of materials you can build an aircraft. So if you would, I'd love to hear more about this guy.
Yeah, so this is a flight test Bronco. So there's a group out of Ohio that provides a lot of free plans made out of Dollar Tree foam board.
Oh, wow.
So you go Dollar Tree foam, get the ready board foam with the paper on both sides. I think this one took about 3 sheets of foam board, and then the electronics, and maybe 3-4 hours, 5 hours worth of work. I'm a slow, so most people probably 4 or 5. Mine takes a lot longer.
Well, I'm always the type of person, I start a project, but then I go work on the other project and then come back and progress.
Me.
Yeah.
That is me, yes. I've got 3 or 4 projects that's been going on for a very long time. Mm-hmm. So did this late last year and got to fly for the first time this year, and it flies great. It flies better than the professional ones, are just as well.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, we were talking about this too. You use some accents on it. I see the duct tape as the cockpit, and we've got some like accent marks, but and some popsicle sticks, I will say. I love that detail.
Yeah, so this group that makes these, they try to make it where you're using as much of everyday or easy to obtain stuff. So there's some popsicle sticks, there's some paint sticks in there. I do have an arrow shaft in there for additional strength that I added, rubber bands, and I do have a few 3D printed stuff of my own on there. But yeah, it can be made with minimal and nothing fancy. The fancier stuff is the electronics, the motors and the receiver and stuff. And what's nice about these planes, when these crash, usually the electronics will survive, so you can just take them out and put them in another one.
Yeah.
It's always good to have 2.
Yes, having multiple just in case is never a bad thing. And I think that kind of goes into the point we definitely want everybody to hear about, is that this hobby is not just for the individual, for the husband or the little kid. It's for the whole family.
It can be. Yeah, we have father-son that come out to our field and fly together. We also this year have a mother-daughter that joined, and they joined specifically to learn to fly radio-controlled gliders, because they went to compete in July at a world championship where they launched the glider with a rocket, and then they had to fly it and land it back in a particular spot, and they did very well at that competition. We couldn't be more proud of them, and very excited for them. And so yeah, so they're also part of a rocketry club called Launch Crew out of Holland, and that's where their first passion is with rocketry, and then they came to us to learn how to fly. And so yeah, it is, and you could come together as a family and fly, or even going at home and building one of these aircraft out of foam board and hot glue, foam board, hot glue, and some wood.
Yeah.
And do it together, and then come out and see how well it flies.
Yeah.
A great time as a family.
Yeah, it definitely. What are the odds that there's two different type of flying clubs in Du Bois County? I think that's just fantastic to hear. Well, one's rocketry and one's RC flying. So flying in two different senses, and then being able to come together and kind of learn through the craft. And I think you kind of mentioned earlier there's the father-son group where the son may be going off to college, but dad can stay at home and get this stuff going. And when the son's home, he can help when he can, and then go fly and learn from that. So it's very adaptable to someone's lifestyle as well.
Yeah, it's a great way to learn building stuff. You learn anything from structures to mechanics to electronics to aerodynamics in this hobby. And I mean, you can just fly, or you can get in depth and learn a lot about the details of this stuff. And a great way to learn STEM is to actually do it and build something. You will learn more building this than you'll learn in more formal settings.
Yeah.
It's a great jumping point into STEM.
Yeah, I mean, that's our whole thing with, I went to school for cinematic studies, and yes, there's so much terminology and book work that you can do, but until you get your hands on that physical stuff, it's a whole different way of learning.
It is, yes, very much so.
Yeah, and so the Jasper RC Flyers, we specifically have you in today to talk about an upcoming Strassenfest event, right?
Yes, our big event of the year is Strassenfest Fly-In. So Saturday, August the 5th, gates open at 10 o'clock. We're going to have a big fly-in where we are inviting as many other pilots from around the region. So we typically will have pilots from Owensboro, Henderson, Evansville, Washington, and we've had a few last year they were visiting other family members in the area, like in Henderson and stuff, but from Tennessee.
Wow.
So, and we've tried to get the word out even more. So hopefully we get a few others from maybe a little farther north or whoever. And then as well, we encourage the public to come. If you just want to spectate, you don't have an aircraft, come, it's free. We'll have concessions. We'll have a noontime demonstration. So one of the younger pilots at Owensboro is going to come and do a noontime demonstration, aerobatic, and he can really make that aircraft do amazing things in the air that I just still don't see how he does it. We'll have at 1 o'clock, we'll have a combat demonstration. So we'll tie streamers to some of our aircraft and fly and try to cut each other's streamers.
Oh, neat.
Kind of like combat. And then at 2 o'clock, we'll have a candy drop for the kids. So we'll load up one of the aircraft, one of our bigger aircraft with lots of candy. It's got a Bombay door on it. We'll fly, drop the candy, and the kids will be able to go out and collect the candy.
I gotta set my alarm for that day at 2 o'clock.
Yes, yes.
No, that's really neat. And then also there's, you guys are also having various raffles or whatnot, right?
Yeah, we'll have raffle. Right now the main thing will be a very nice aircraft that's good for beginners or for experienced. It's a really sought after aircraft, from those that's been in it for 40 years to those that's just starting out. And that will be raffled off. There'll be a few other items to raffle off, and we also will be doing a form of I guess call it a silent auction of sorts, where we have some aircraft the club has been able to obtain, and parts and building material, and we will be doing a silent auction of that, where people will be able to kind of bid.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like it's going to be a great day to be out. Not only is it kind of like a car meetup, but for radio aircrafts.
Yeah.
But then also you have the public aspect where people can come and just be involved and hopefully have a nice day out at the fly field. And again, this is at your field, correct?
Yes, this will be at our field behind the Du Bois Recycling Center. We'll also have a computer simulation where you'll be able to get a controller on a computer and fly radio controlled there in an air-conditioned building.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, we'll have our generator going to have that.
I definitely should try that, because I know if you gave me a physical thing, it would not leave the ground for sure. Like, even if I were to throw it, it would just go straight down. So I think that kind of reiterates the idea that you guys are super accommodating, no matter if you've never ever flown anything before in your life, even a kite. Like, if you've never touched anything, this is something for you to learn. And if you're interested in the technology and the science behind it and all that stuff, it's definitely something to expand on.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, and I know the Jasper RC Flyers have always been very welcoming to various people. So if people, of course, we want them to come out to your August 5th event, but if people wanted to learn more about the organization or to contact you guys to get more details, what should we know?
You can search for us on Google or any search engine, Jasper RC Flyers. We have the Facebook page should come up, so should the website. The website is at jasperrcflyers.org. And there's a contact information there, and encourage you to do that. So if you can't come out to the August 5th, contact us, and we will try to schedule some time for you to get your hands on flying an aircraft.
Again, to reiterate, this is for the whole family. If little Timmy wants to come out, if the elderly want to come out, it's for everybody.
It is for everybody, yeah. Young, old, we would be thrilled to have, can't find enough parking or have to mow some extra parking. We have had to do that in the past. And we appreciate the community for coming out to our open house we had. We really appreciate their support there.
Yeah, that is all awesome stuff.
It's a great community that we're in here, and a great community there at the Jasper RC Flyers. And we just like flying. We don't care what you fly, how expensive, how big, just bring it. And we'll probably want to fly it ourselves.
That's the way to be. Just all flying objects welcome.
Yes.
Even if they're unidentified flying options?
Some of them are unidentified. We usually have one person from Evansville that brings, he's known for pretty unique aircraft.
Okay.
He usually brings one that I'm going to say the name wrong. Basically flies like a bird. It flaps the wings and stuff.
Oh, that's
neat. He usually brings that, and usually other unique aircraft.
There's just so many layers to this, and I'm never going to get to the bottom of it.
There are tons of layers to it. I haven't even flown, know what most of them are still out there.
Well, we'll save everybody at home from having to watch the gears turn in my head here. But Jeremy, thank you so much for coming and talking with us again.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
We are very excited to see your August 5th event. Remind me of the time.
Gates open at 10 o'clock.
Gates open at 10 at the flying field.
Yes.
More information online, all of that good stuff. But you just got to see it. Go do the thing.
Got to come see it.
Yeah.
No better way to experience it.
Well, thank you so much again.
Thank you.
And thank you so much at home for watching. This has been 18 WJTS in.form with our friends from the Jasper RC Flyers. And we are local people watching local people fly some aircrafts.